picture to work on because I didn't have a budget that I had to worry about. It was a limited budget, unlimited budget. And we spent 3 months filming the underwater sequences for Thunderball. And we could do what we wanted, and no one said, hey, hurry up. So I really enjoyed it. Starting with the creature from the Black Lagoon, I was going to Florida State University, and I used to work at Wakulla Springs, where the underwater sequences for the creature from the Black Lagoon was filmed. And the manager of that spring was out of town. He called me at the school where I was and said, well, I have some people coming from California to make a film, and would you show them the springs for me? And I said, sure. So I picked the people up, took them to the springs, and showed them the underwater and the beautiful river scenes. And the cameraman said, would you mind swimming in front of the camera to show some perspective of the size of a human being with fish, grass and logs and whatever? And I said, sure, so I did. And I took them back to the airport. They went home. A couple of weeks later, I got a call from Mr. Perry, the manager of the hotel. He says, they're trying to reach you. They like the way you swim, and they want to talk to you about working on the film. So he gave him my number, and Jack Arnold, who turned out to be the director of the film, called me. He said, we like the way you swim. How would you like to be the monster? And I said, monster of what? And they said, we're doing an underwater horror film, and we have an underwater creature. And would you like to do it? And I said, sure. So I went to California, and it took 2 months to build a suit. And the suit they first built was no good. It looked bad. And so we built a second suit. And then everyone liked it, and that's the one we used. And they filmed the topside sequences at the back lot at Universal Studios in California. We filmed the underwater sequences at Wakulla Springs near Tallahassee, Florida. And it took us, we were working on it for about 3 months, but we actually filmed for about a month on the underwater sequences for the first creature film. The second creature film, the underwater sequences were shot at Silver Springs. The third movie didn't have much underwater, but part of it was filmed at Wakulla Springs and part of it at Silver Springs. No, the way I breathed, I used an air hose. I don't know if anybody's aware of a spring called Weeki Wachee Springs. That's where the girls breathe from an air hose. Well, I started the springs with New Perry when it first began, and we taught the girls to swim with the air hose and do their underwater ballet and so forth. So breathing from the air hose was something that I did naturally. So when we made the costume, they wanted to put a tank in the back and have a regulator in your mouth. But it was so bulky, it looked very, very awkward. In other words, your head would have been this big and your back would have been that thick. So we didn't use that because I knew how to use the air hose. And I'd use the air hose, I'd breathe from it, and I had 4 safety people. And when I'd go into the scene, hold my breath, do as much of the scene as I could, and then I would get a hose from another safety diver to breathe from. And we had a signal, because the creature was always moving, you know, in the water, your hands, or swimming, or doing something, fighting. And our signal to the divers was, if I went totally limp, that meant I need air. And it worked out perfect. We didn't have any accidents, and I got air when I needed it, and the safety divers were all very good.
Hi, Lee.